What's up, everybody? I hope all is well. Today is our first training of the new year, and I am super excited to be live with you all. Thank you for your patience as well, because it took me a little minute to get on, but we are ready to go. Let's see, edit, save changes. I want to make sure that they broadcast this everywhere. I'm going to delete this from Facebook and add it back. So, how's everybody doing this rising? I hope everybody is feeling well, energized, energetic, blessed, and highly favored. So, okay. So, we should be ready to rock and roll. Yes, let's get it. So, today we are going to be talking about building stability in business. And we're going to really be focusing on just some systems. I noticed that as I began to scale into really, structure, I would say, even my business to scale, things got a lot easier and it's getting a lot easier. Okay. As I allow myself to have systems. Systems are so important because without a system, there's pretty much no way to duplicate what we're doing. And as you guys know, I am a mom of four. So I actually have three babies right now that are going to school virtually. And without the systems and the duplicatable things that are in place that we can put in place, rather, it'll pretty much be, I would say, impossible for me to be able to just do what I love to do, to help people, to make it easy. And it's so funny because I didn't start off like this. So if you guys don't know me, my name is Daza, also known as Coach Daza. I started off this business um years ago. I was actually in the process, let me make my screen bigger. I was actually in the process of finding something that would work for my lifestyle. I would see all of these people that were like drop shipping and making, these their livelihoods off of their laptop. And I had my first son, I had my first child when I was 18. So I'm like, oh, I would love to get the opportunity to do something like this. And even before that, like I've always been had the entrepreneur spirit. I always wanted to pave my own way, pave my own path and stuff like that. So anyway, I ended up getting the opportunity to step into learning how to do print on demand drop shipping. Okay. And I was selling things off of Etsy. And what happened was I started making sales just randomly. People liked what I had to offer, the designs. It was super simple, but people wanted to, purchase them, and they did. So after that, I realized, oh, I would love to, be able to make this bigger. But as you guys know, with some platforms, you are limited to what you can do, what you have access to. I didn't have access to my clients, like their emails and their phone numbers and their contacts, and I couldn't customize that, my page the way I wanted to, with everything that I wanted to do with it, because I didn't have the option to do that. So I end up learning how to do my own e-commerce stores. That's what launched that's what inspired me to start doing the agency done for you services. I was brand coaching back in 2019, as well as doing like some life coaching. That was amazing. Intuitive, like spiritual, sessions. And yeah, so all of that led me here. And it's more details, but because I don't want to hold you guys, and today is a full day, I just wanted to give you a backstory of, basically how I wound up here. So basically, once I got to this position to where I was looking for something that worked for me, and I ended up starting the agency, scaling it up and really learning the ins and outs, that's what got me into automations and streamlining and systems, even though my mindset has always worked like that anyway. Eventually, like, I love to just make things work for me and like creating a system to work for me. But this is on a whole nother level. So business stability and really growing, your business, a lot of us sometimes can, like I did, feel like it was just something off with me. Yes, it does start with you, and that accountability is very important, but it basically is systems that we may not know about. There's things and tools and strategies that are now accessible to us that may have not been accessible before. So you have to start seeing it in that light, so that way the pressure can move off of you and you start to look more, I would say, look at things more solution oriented. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So like I said, today we're going to be talking about building stability in business. I've shared this to my Facebook pages as well, but I am going to be taking this down, and it's just going to be solely on our YouTube. So make sure you guys head over there if you want access. If you want access long term. So, oh, hold on, wait, let me see. I am going to mention everybody in this so we can get it going as well. And I'm going to share this out from my page. So my intentions, throughout this training is to really just help you guys get as much clarity as possible, releasing the chaos that feels so overwhelming, where it's just, impossible. It feels like it could be impossible to scale and grow, because it is. It does take time, systems, it does take intention, right? To also build with purpose. And I would say too, to choose clarity, because choosing clarity means when you know better, you decide to do better. You decide to position yourself to where you are going to basically be in the best position possible, versus continuing to do what you've always done, and maybe, just maybe, um, decide to do things another way that will be able to help you scale and evolve, right, in your business. So let me go ahead and tag as many people as I can, y'all. I got about 5 seconds to do this. Drop where you're watching from and just some things that you may be looking to take away from this training that we're doing today. I know a lot of people, I had like 4 people inbox me that said that they were looking forward to this training. So I'm definitely super excited to have you guys here. Thank you for participating and just, really reaching out and wanting to be a part of, scaling and automating your business and just learning what's new. And that's the key. That's what I do. I always am focusing on, I try my best to focus on how can I scale? How can I be better? Because there's always, 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 always going to be like a better way to do things, and just continuing to have, I would say, that student mentality is top tier, and it's so important, because with having that student mentality, it gives us the ability to evolve and grow. I always said before, even with like some of my inner circle, is like I never wanted to be like looked at as the one who knows it all. I would prefer being the one to scale and grow and evolve, out loud. And that's okay, right? If scaling feels hard, it's not because you're not capable, it's because your business is running on memory, mood, manual effort. Systems create ease, systems create consistency. Okay, that's very, very important. Let me go ahead and tag one more business, and then we can really dive into this and get it going. Like I said before, let me know where you guys are tuning in from. I am going to read the comment section as well. Yeah, this is not going to be a really long drawn out training, but it is going to be a very well needed training. Um, let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and go into this group. And if you're wondering what industry, because I did get a question, like what industry is this for? Like business systems and scaling is not for a specific, you know, industry. This is for all business owners and entrepreneurs, specifically for those who have been so overwhelmed with their back end that it's actually costing them their growth in their business. Like they cannot scale the way they want to scale, the way they want their business to grow, because these things are not in place. So I want you guys to keep that in mind as we go throughout this training and really, dive deeper into the possibilities. Please keep that in mind. So, okay, let me do one more share to our page. Okay. Yep. So that's the key. This is just not for, it's not a one size fits all either, because it's stuff that you can tailor to make it work for you, but this is for everybody when it comes down to the industry, right? Because it's systems in each industry that will work for that industry in order to scale. This is weird. Where is, hold on, guys, give me 1 second. I'm looking for our, the Ultimate CEO University. You guys are going to get this training on YouTube as well. So let's see, pages. Okay. Oh, here it is. I was like, that's strange. Let me switch into this and just share it real quick so that we're all on the same page. I got my coffee and espresso, so let me know if I am going fast. Okay. Okay. Alrighty. So back on the ranch. We set our intentions. Now we're going to go ahead and dive into the training. Okay. The problem systems gap. Effort without stability. Many business owners, hold on, wait. Let me make sure I'm zoomed in. I want to zoom into this part so you guys can really see it. Okay. So, effort without stability. Many business owners and entrepreneurs invest significant effort but still experience instability due to disjointed operations and a lack of cohesive systems in place. Overwhelmed operators, CEOs, and operators often feel mental overload stemming from the chaos of managing too many moving parts without the right systems to support them. Hold on, guys, give me 1 second. Okay. So, overwhelmed operators, CEOs and operators often feel mental Overload stemming from the chaos of managing too many moving parts without the right systems to support them. Okay. What scaling requires? Focus and efficiency. Goodness gracious. Efficiency. Scaling is about doing more of what truly matters while minimizing overwhelm and maximizing efficiency in business operations. Systems enable success. Okay. Systems enable success. When I tell you guys, I would not be able to do this without systems in place. I'm so thankful. Implementing systems helps to eliminate lead and time leaks, allowing leaders to regain their roles and direct their business vision effectively. Why overwhelm occurs? Disconnection. Disconnection among systems creates confusion, leading to insufficiencies and frustration. As tasks and goals become misaligned across various platforms and teams. Unclear sequences. Unclear sequences and processes lead to delays and errors, resulting in wasted time and resources, ultimately hindering business growth and stability. And then too many tools. The presence of too many tools complicates workflows, making it difficult for teams to collaborate effectively and maintain focus on essential tasks. Brand system consistency. So, this is going to be one of the first systems. Messaging challenges. Mixed messaging and inconsistent visuals can confuse potential clients and lead to wrong client attraction, undermining marketing efforts significantly. What does that mean? That means go into Canva and type in brand board, brand kit. And what you will find is literally a nice visual board that you can go in and choose. I would recommend no more than 3 colors. And also, to go to Pinterest and find about 4 different images that you like and you want your business to feel like you want your clients to feel when they're I would say interacting with your business. Like, how do you want your clients to feel? Create a mood board off of that and literally stick to that. Go in Chat GPT, let Chat GPT know what you offer and who you're looking to serve. And then it'll give you literally your entire brand identity, meaning it'll tell you who your clients are, the problems that your clients are looking to get solved. So you're not speaking in the void, right? Because it goes back to business owners, not influencers, business owners with influence. That's a difference. So when we're showing up here online, we want to make sure that we are speaking to the people that actually need us, not the people that may be optional, or the people that are completely out of range and they don't even know what we're talking about because they're not our target audience. So it's very important that we literally curate our messaging to speak to specifically who we're looking to help and um add value to. Establishing a clear core message alongside signature offers and defined brand standards can create consistency and enhance client engagement. Enhancing marketing visibility. This is another system. Content consistency. Inconsistent content leads to scattered visibility. That doesn't mean you have to post 30 times per day either. It just means you have to find your rhythm. I did a complete audit this year because I had to really reframe things. Now that I got my kids, doing school at home, and things are just has changed so much, right? That I had to really figure out when are my peak hours and what's going to work for me this year. So, for instance, doing trainings on a specific day that's consistent gives me stability and structure, right, to show up. But I also know what I'm going to show up to do because I had time to prepare and to plan and to actually market, right, for it. Um, Making it so it says inconsistent content leads to scattered visibility, making it hard for potential clients to engage and understand your offering effectively. So the more people see you, of course, the more visibility you have to your specific people, the higher your chances are with converting. If you have a landscaping company, for instance, and they see you and you have a schedule where you post 3 times a week, but those 3 times a week, you're speaking to the pain points of that specific target audience. So you're saying, hey, I know your snow is in the way. You don't have time because you know what they need. And guess what? That's going to increase the likelihood of getting those leads engaged and also into your pipeline and funnel. Strategic focus, implementing a weekly content rhythm on one core topic helps unify messaging, ensuring clarity and driving meaningful engagement with your audience. So you have to look at what platforms, if you had to do the bare minimum of like, okay, I just need to focus in and hone in. This is something that I had to actually do. This is a true story of me refining my systems. I had to realize that I'm not able to leak my energy in so many different places. So, where identifying where my clients are helped me so much more because that's my primary focus. Outside of that, I can always repurpose and like go into my all in one business tool and schedule outposts to go everywhere else. But that keeps it to where I know that at the minimum, where my clients are, I'm actually feeding and I'm nurturing and I'm showing up on a consistent basis, whatever my schedule, can hold to go ahead and reel in, that audience and help them, really scale and build. I realized I wasn't even live on Instagram. Okay. So, lead capture system overview. Problems with engagement. Many potential leads simply watch your content without engaging, leading to lost opportunities and unpredictable growth patterns in your business. So, you need a specific lead capture system. A lead capture system, the one that I actually just built, I was able to bring in about a little over $50,000 worth of leads. That doesn't mean it's sales, right? But these leads, you have to know what your leads are worth because how do you figure that out, right? You figure that out by understanding what your prices are. So every time you miss an opportunity, that is how much you're missing based off of what you charge. So when we go back, okay, we need a lead capture system that's going to be capturing leads, hopefully, when we're asleep. We want to do a one and done post, but people can go because they're going to, when they're looking for services, they're going to interact, they're going to look at your post, they're going to probably DM you or message you. And you want a system that can work while you sleep. So, like implementing a single landing page and one compelling lead magnet will streamline engagement, ensuring automated delivery and tagging of interested prospects. So, to really simplify that, if they're on social media but they're coming in to contact you, what is the goal? The goal is to become for them to become a lead and enter in your nurture sequence, your sales system. But before they can reach your sales system, I want to go bigger here because this is really, really, really valuable. Before they actually can reach your sales system, they have to first go through your lead capture system. And your lead capture system has to be refined. If you have 50,000 ways they can reach you, how can you really track where your most profitable marketing is. The platforms, the lead magnet. So it needs to be very specific. Giving you an example, if you know that you are in the beauty industry and you are nail tech, okay, your lead magnet to them could be how to take care of your natural nails, right? Depending on your niche. I'm just giving you an example because it's like niches, micro problems within bigger industries. So if yours is like natural nail care, you can have a lead magnet, a free checklist or a free, ebook on how to care for their natural nails. So you know that that's your one main go-to. And if you funnel everybody there because that's your lead magnet, that's how they're going to get into your sales system. Another one could be a free consultation. Another one could be offering them, some type of like 7-day access to, your services or like membership, for instance. So it's multiple ways you can get them into your lead capture system because mind you, you're not tricking them or like trying to like do something like they don't know about, like they know they're coming into your system. But imagine this, they're trying to interact with you and don't know how to interact with you. So what we're really doing is I want you to think about a pipe, right? We're really just clearing, we're building the pipe that they're going to actually flow in. Without having a pipe that's clear, so the water can actually flow, it's no way that we can actually do this and create these systems and be able to duplicate this and be able to scale this, especially when we go into talking about like team delegation. So you can have a virtual assistant who's in place doing your lead generation, but if you don't have a system that virtual assistant can follow and can track daily, then guess what? You won't be able to delegate that. That's going to cause problems. That's going to have you, having to repeat yourself 1,000 times. And it's just not scalable. It's not scalable. Nurture system for client trust. So once they come in through the lead magnet, depending on how urgent your sales system is, some people need to be nurtured longer than others, right? Depending on your industry. Here's some problems that's faced. Many clients feel connected but do not convert, leading to relaunching efforts without success and excessive selling pressure. So, if you gave 7 days to nurture the people who are coming into your funnel, basically what this is saying is you would have a more chance of converting because most people, this is just sales psychology, it takes them at least on minimum 7 interactions, right, with you in order to be ready to purchase and go to the next stage. So if you're just trying to take them, and this is something that I had to learn too and really implement, right? Because some things are, you can know, knowledge is not power until it's implemented, until it's applied. Okay. Easier said than done. That's like you wanting to go out with somebody and you're taking them straight to the close. I'm gonna marry you tomorrow. Like people naturally, they need time to nurture and go through the process. They need time to understand, the process. They need they need time to understand what your offer is and how it's really going to serve them. So the best thing to do is to nurture them along that process, not just taking them straight to the close. If especially if it's a higher ticket item, right? I'm talking about 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 higher ticket offers. They need a little time, for nurturing. And 7 days is not a lot. But if you email them and text them throughout those 7 days, right? Letting them know, hey, here's some client testimonials. Here's some things that, we can do for you, talking about their pain points and letting them know, validating them. Like, you don't need to go through this because I do have a way to help you. I do have a solution that I can offer to you that will help you take your business to, the next level, or that will help you, take your nails that are not growing, that are brittle. I'm going to help you, take them to full natural growing where you don't even have to use acrylics or whatever industry you're in. You understand what I'm saying? So it takes that time. Now, the next one is going to be, and let me know if you guys have any questions and if this is helpful for you. Make sure you drop some emojis at the end of this video or in the comment section of this video. Let me know if this is helping you. So, sales system for clarity, challenges in closing. So, let's get clarity on our sales system, because I'm breaking this down, but I want you guys to know that it's entire systems that come along with this. And because our pipeline, let's go back to the pipeline. I wish I had a picture of a pipeline right here. For our next training, I'm gonna have some more visuals. Um, but let's think about a pipeline, right? And the pipeline, the first step, of course, is what? Generating leads, right? You got to open up that pipeline. You're going to generate those leads. Then the next step, what's the next step? Okay, well, that's going to be, nurturing. The next step, that's going to be sales. So all of these pieces are in place to create a full business, right? A full, I would say, well-rounded business that it's, and this is the key too. I want to tell you guys, you're going to always have something that is off. um I've learned that as you scale, once you scale like 10% more, typically, whether that's through teams, etc., you're going to outgrow that system and you're going to need some tweaks, whether that is optimizing your lead generation methods, whether that's optimizing your nurture sequences, whether that's optimizing your sales system itself, the process itself. And that could be internally for your team, meaning what do they do at, like their SOPs, like what is needed for them in order to actually close out those sales, or whether that's client facing, where you may need to truly update your presentation and update, your actual marketing assets, or, you know, I would say business assets actually, to accommodate the new client, the new, target audience that you're now attracting, because things change, especially if you have to pivot. So don't think this is a one and done, but this is meeting you where you're at to identify and start to self analyze in your business as a established entrepreneur. Maybe you've been making a ton of money, doing what you've been doing. And listen, it's just you got that hustle in you, but now you know that it's time to hustle with aligned systems that backs that, so you can really scale into the next level. Or maybe, you're a content creator where you are, building community, right? And you have that, but you don't have the back end infrastructure. So when people come in, to work with you, they're asking about your information, your knowledge, your expertise, but you don't have anything to send them to. You don't have a product. You don't have you don't have anything. You don't have like the back end systems that is going to actually give you the capacity to scale without you being overwhelmed. Or if you're a service provider who you do everything with your hands, right? You know that it's time to get out of that and to start putting things to play with systems and tools, and also to delegate, because you can't even think about this without the systems set up in your business. How can you delegate to other people? This is what I was experiencing. And I was like, I know, like, I'm very thorough and clear. Like, I can do all of the documentation and all of that because I actually enjoy doing it. And I'm trying to delegate this to my virtual assistant, but then they're coming back to me not understanding what I'm saying or not understanding what to do. And I have to constantly go over it to where I'm basically doing it myself. So when we're in those type of situations, it comes to a point to where we have to understand that there are systems to run a scalable company if that's what you're looking to do. At that point where it's like the only way I can grow is to scale with tools and systems and having this, streamlined and automated, then this is what it's about. So sales systems for clarity. So sales systems for clarity. Many business owners, I like to say, and entrepreneurs face messy DMs and inconsistent closes. Definitely experience this. This is why the tighter your systems are, where you know what's your sales process, and do you have the tools and infrastructure in place in order to scale that. Okay. The tighter that is, the more you're going to see in return, the more return you're going to see in the business. So many business owners and entrepreneurs face messy DMs and inconsistent closing, leading to unproductive calls that waste time and resources for everyone involved. This is the effective solution. Implementing lead qualification. Implementing a lead qualification process, a simple sales flow, and a follow up sequence can streamline processes and enhance conversion rates significantly. So, what does that mean? Okay, so if somebody is coming to you, and this is major key right here, major nuggets. And I'm going to be getting off of here very shortly. Actually, my baby is getting a surgery and I got to call her doctor to get her prepared. Um, so with that being said, what does this mean? Let me zoom in so you guys can see. Okay. Implementing lead qualification, a simple sales flow, and a follow-up sequence can streamline processes and enhance conversion rates significantly. So you're getting, every time you post a flyer, you're getting leads in your system. You're getting them. Hopefully, you have this all in one system or a tool that you're capturing leads. If not, everybody that's on here, I'm definitely going to drop some freebies for you all. So stay tuned to the end of this training, because you're going to get, which is valued a little over $150 worth of freebies. Okay. And this right here changed everything for me. Okay. If I was not operating like this, then I would literally be stuck having to do it all, and my growth would be definitely limited and capped. Okay. So that's very, very important, because when you have a system that can do everything, or I would be stuck managing 50 different apps, and I don't have time. I got 4 kids. Time is of an essence, and I'm looking to do great things with great people. So in order to be positioned for what I'm called to do, we have to have it, automated, delegated, streamlined where we can, so we can have our sanity, and also to lead from the front, instead of having to be forced to stay in a hustling position without having systems that are aligned, because I feel like it's actually doing our people, our families, our friends, our clients, our people that are coming to us. And honestly, I feel like it's doing them a disjustice when we have the ability to bring in all of this, opportunity without having nothing. I think it's doing ourselves a disjustice, and those connected to us in our circle, to not take it to that next level. But the reason why we can't take it to the next level, and I'm here to say, I know the struggle is real when it comes to, the capacity, because the next level has to be built. It cannot just be thrown into, you know what I'm saying? And then you don't have the capacity to hold that. So it's like somebody that can make $100,000 in a month, but then the next month everything drops. Well, do you know how it dropped? Do you have a system for these parts of your business that we're talking about in this training that can be measured with numbers? That's the only way, because it's deeper than a creativity. It's actually scaling a business. And I had to realize this. Thank God for my inner circle that helped me, because I'm super creative. I think I can make the best flyers and landing pages, and I can dive into all of that, and I'm just like a super mom. But when it came down to me knowing, okay, why is, this suffering part of my business, the sales, the marketing, the leads, I didn't have an answer for that. So when you have a system and you're capable of building and making this money, and you've been hustling your company, whether you're in a tax industry, whether you're, beauty industry, real estate industry, you've been running it up. But without that system in place, at a certain point, your growth is going to be limited. So the reason why it's built that way, and it makes sense, is because we have to start looking at things as a business at a certain point to grow and scale, not just, you know, hustling. We have to hustle with systems. I think I'm a natural born bred hustler, right? But we have to hustle systems. We have to hustle with infrastructure, and we have to hustle with understanding our business so that way we can scale it and manage it. Cuz some people get so much growth, they cut on that lead generation pipeline. They get so many leads that come in, but guess what? They don't have the team to handle that type of growth. I think that was what's most scary for me. It was because it's like, okay, yes, I'm very well versed in everything that I do, but if 1,000 people came in here, I don't think I can, handle that type of pressure in my business. And that right there will make people so afraid and locked and limited in their potential. So if you don't take anything from this, understand that everything is done that is done correctly is done in an order, that is just not you, that it's people that you're maybe looking at, seeing and jumping in the lifestyle and all of that. These people have built systems, they have built infrastructure, and they literally if they were hustling or whatever the case may be, they eventually had to optimize that to hustle systems so that way their livelihood and their lifestyle could continue to scale and grow without it all being dependent on them. Okay. It's crucial. So, sales system for clarity, lead qualification. When they're coming into your pipeline, and they're coming and they're at the point now to where they booked a call. Do you have a form in place that qualifies these leads? Do you have a form? And this is what I'm talking about when I say qualification. I'm talking about having a form in place that allows you to guide them because they're coming to you already. So they want it. If they drop off at this point, you may have not qualified them correctly. Meaning, if you get on the call and you're talking to them, they're coming to you for a burger, but you're talking to them about salads. There's a miscommunication there. Something is going to be dropped at that point. They're probably going to drop off if you don't qualify them correctly. So qualifying them correctly means asking questions before they even get on the call with you. It could be just I would say a five uh piece questionnaire, 5-step questionnaire, where you're asking questions that they can actually input the answers to so that way you can understand them more because they're coming to you, but can you actually serve them? Is this everybody that comes into your funnel may not be your target avatar? That's important too, because people will drive you crazy and you have more stress with people sometimes that you're going outside of your target avatar for versus focusing on your target avatar. So if they are not within those qualifications, you will be able to then direct them. Hopefully you have something that they can kind of view and look at and give them for free, at least to keep them in your ecosystem. But you have to have that set up to where they can see it. And I wish I can show you um actually I will. Let me go to my calendar. You guys, this is listen, if you are taking stuff that from this that really is, it's helpful, let me know because I didn't expect to go in this much, but it's 2026. It's the year of the horse, fire horse. We are not playing, okay? We are not playing. Let me see. Intake form for business growth, DP braiding and consulting. Let me see. Book a call. Just to give you guys more context on what this looks like. Okay. So this right here is my embedded calendar. And I have a video, which we like to call a via sale right here. And basically what this is, it gives them kind of I'm talking to them directly, right? I'm not there with them. So I need something that I can talk to them and they can see me and feel, connected. So,
Chaos to clarity by streamlining and automating.
okay, that's my AI. That's my AI twin. Now down here is an option for them to book a call. Now, when they book a call, we're going to have to ask some questions because I'm not going to just want to wing it with you on the phone. I don't want it to be sporadic. I need to know exactly what you're looking to get so I can really measure if I'm able to service you. And that's what these qualification forms are meant to do. So this is very, very important, especially if you have a sales team in place and or you're looking to even just be the salesperson right now for yourself, but you want to have some type of system and processes. This is very, very, very important to have in place. You need to be able to qualify them with a form. So now you're not just like a deer in headlights when you get on the call with them. When you get on the call with them, you can be the expert or professional that you are, because guess what? You get to literally guide them based off of what they need, not based off of what you want them to have. And that's the key. If somebody is already penetrating your ecosystem, meaning they're coming to you, you need to have a way to direct them into your ecosystem. And when you get on that call, you should not be confused, or your salespeople, your sales team should not be confused when they're on the call. They should have clarity. Okay. They should know, okay, well, this person came in for specifically, they're looking to get, I'm thinking of a service. Say you have a painting company. They're looking to get 4 bedrooms painted. They're looking for all white color. Like, I would have those things on that questionnaire so that way I know they're going to feel like, oh, they know me. Absolutely. Because that's what you're here to do. So the next step from here is going to be them scheduling the call. This is the first step inside of my sales process. And I would recommend it be the first step inside of yours, because think about it. Now they're ready. They're booking a call. That's a very high buyer intent action. So outside of this, let's go back to our presentation board. And I do got to get off. I got about 5 minutes, y'all. But lead qualification. The next step, a simple sales flow. So you need a simple sales flow. What does that mean? A simple sales flow can literally look like a sales pipeline inside of your client relationship manager tool or CRM. You can use high level, you can use a CRM that we use, my clients love. You can use, any CRM, right? But without, you can have any CRM. I would actually want to start there. You can have any CRM, but if you're not using your CRM correctly, then it's actually costing you. We're talking about getting a return on investment for all of these tools and making it work for us. So if you have a sales pipeline, what's the first step? They booked a call. So now you or your team that you're delegating to can see, okay, we got 20 people who booked a call. Great. Okay, what's the next step? On the call, it may be a free consultation. What happens after that free consultation? What is that actual next step? Well, after the free consultation, the goal should be on the call to then either bring them deeper into the ecosystem based off of what they need. You should have a package that serves them. So if you are a painter, you should have tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. We have to make this duplicatable, not something that we're thinking on the top of our head. Every time we get them into our system, we got to think about what we should have here. It shouldn't work that way. It should be duplicatable. So what tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, based off what you're telling me, Linda, I think the best option for you, because you need 4 rooms painted, is going to be our tier 2 services. Now it's up to you. It's always good to have, now this is deeper into the sales system. If you guys don't know my background, I do have a sales and marketing background. So when it comes to this point, it's good to have at least 3 packages to choose from. Minimum, I would say not more than that, but like 3, because people typically land on the middle one. So if you have a start, a middle, and like a big package, they typically would land in the middle. So being able to say, okay, cool, this is going to be the best one based off of what you told me, then you have the right, because you can serve them. You've identified this is a qualified client that you would like to serve. We're not rushing to sales. We're qualifying and then moving them through the process, right? This is when you have your infrastructure, the bare minimum setup. It goes deeper than this, but this is the bare minimum. Okay, after that, then we're on the call still. We've identified this package that works. They agree. Okay. And then we move forward to closing them on the call. I would never forget the time when I had two people and I just felt so, I was so excited and I was so upset because I was like, how do I get them to the point of saying yes, they're ready to go, and I didn't process the payment off the phone. The sales that I was in, the sales and marketing that I experience that I have is face to face. So it's literally face to face sales and marketing experience. I was one of the top sales reps in the company, but doing it off the phone, I was kind of at this point in my agency, I didn't know, I didn't have the systems infrastructure, and I didn't even really know like how to bring them there. In my mind, I just went blank. I was so excited, and that happens to a lot of us. So we get nervous where we think, oh, well, this is not for me. My business is I'm getting people and it's not working. It's like, no, you just need systems in place. That's it. This is the only difference, is that you have to have systems in place to be able to guide that process that you can refer to. We had sales scripts, we had boards that we use, we had tools and things that we use in order to serve the clients that work for us. So the next process is going to be what? Getting them to the point to where if they agreed, if it's a good fit, you guys are moving forward, then you need to process that payment on the call. You need to process that payment on the call. That way, they're now an actual client and not a lead, and they're ready to move forward with services. Okay. So that's just giving you insight into the sales system. Now, it's more that goes into it. And the more would be, of course, how many stages is inside of your sales pipeline, exactly, what your SOPs are, and it goes deeper. But this is just to give you the gist of, if you just had a pipeline that you could clearly see, I got 5 leads that have opted in and became that have went deeper and now have booked a call with me, that will give you the inspiration to want to show up and really serve those people. And if you had a outline of what to actually say, right, based off of your questionnaire that you're going to have, right, you're going to have an outline and a script, and you're going to know exactly what to say. Not mean you Doesn't mean you have to sound scripted, but the processes is there to where you can fall on, and you can either optimize as you go, and tweak them as you go, but you know that you have something in order to help your business scale and grow, and that you can also now hire sales closers and team people, team people sales closers and a team in place that can then replace you. But it's hard to be replaceable when you don't have systems, and it's scary to put people in position and you haven't gone through the process yourself. And that's why they say you have to learn every part of your company and process of your business, so that way you know exactly where, as you should, being the leader, what's going on in your business. Okay. It's deeper than that. We can talk about having trackers and stuff like that too, but this is the gist of it. If you just had a simple pipeline, it could be 3 steps. Sales, what happens? Okay, step 1, they're here, where you can track that process. It'll be a game changer. Okay, follow-up sequence. What happens if they book a call? They should be getting some type of messages. For the people that opted in for this training today, they actually received emails and SMS saying, hey, I'm going live today. Join me live, join us live. We're going live, Ultimate CEO University. Make sure you guys dive in. So that was available. And guess what? That will increase the rate that people show up for the training. So they should be nurtured and guided and walked through. Without that, guess what? You're going to be on the calls trying to do it scatteredly, trying to message people. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, I'm optimizing my systems of when I go live. Now that I have a consistent live schedule, I'm optimizing my systems. I don't want to have to go live and be adding, putting the app followers or whatever last minute. I know that that's the system. And but the thing is, once you understand the systems, then you focus on the system that's going to give you the highest return. And as you scale your company, because you now can measure things, then you will go and target the other stuff at it after you're done scaling what's going to bring you in the highest return. So it's levels to this as well. um, but yes, I hope this training was amazing for you guys. I feel really good about it. I am on fire, excited to see you guys really take your businesses to the next level, not being afraid of automations and AI, and really looking at this stuff as a tool to help you scale, understanding your capacity and really where you're at and what it takes to scale, because it took me years to understand that. I didn't understand that. And I had to step outside of, what I was doing to really look at this as a true business and infrastructure, and my entire ecosystem, and be able to help people along the way. Now I'm able to because of that. So it really does affect everything and everyone connected to us. The best that we can show up, the better everything is, the better you are and happy you are in your company, because you're not focusing on being exhausted or burnt out, because you're like, I got systems I can really scale. Even if they're beginner systems, that is okay. That's going to take you a long way versus running around trying to do it chaotically. Because especially, I guess, for people that even like have higher responsibilities, it takes a lot to show up and do that. So you want to make sure that you get the highest return on investment. Client delivery without burnout. This is the so client delivery system. Managing client expectations. Over delivery can lead to client exhaustion and dissatisfaction. Setting clear and Setting clear expectations helps maintain a manageable workload for both parties involved. Meaning, you don't have to put 1,000 things in one package to serve your client. You don't have to you shouldn't honestly have it to where you don't know your onboarding process. You want to make sure that client at all times, because I have clients that call me or text me, um or reach out to me and email me and say, hey, where's my such and such packet, or where's my this, da, da. It's all filed and it's all organized and they have access to it. And all I have to say is go to the Trello board or go to the Google Drive, because it's there and it's documented and it's set up. So that's very, very important that you have a process, meaning you understand everything that it's going to take to deliver the service that you want to deliver for your clients. For instance, if you have a branding agency, right? And you do logos, you do all of this stuff, right? Flyers, logos, etc. If you offer more than what that package is going to return for you, meaning like you're going to do 20 packages for like $100, 20 flyers for like $100, if you don't have a template where you can just duplicate and resell, that may be completely exhausting for you and overwhelming for your team and anybody working with you, especially at $100. So you got to be able to manage that and look at, okay, what's going to work for these clients? Where are they going to get the most help? And simplify and refine that package based off of who your target audience is. So that way then you can start to focus on like your unique value proposition. Why would they go to you outside of anyone else? You can start really positioning yourself way better versus trying to be the cheapest and offer everything at the same time. It's not going to work. So focus on that. Make sure you have refined packages, make sure it's within limits, and don't feel like you got to offer everything in that one package, because you don't. That client may not even want that extra flyer. They may just be coming to you to get 2 flyers and be happy with that. So focus on what their needs are and then go from there. Now add-ons is different, but focus on what their needs are and then go from there. Setting clear expectations help maintain a manageable workload for both parties involved. Being able to set clear expectations. So when they come into your workflow for client delivery, the first step, okay, cool, here's an onboarding. I need you to have this onboarding. I need you to have this service agreement in place. I need to make sure all of that's done before we can even kick off this project. After that project is kicked off, boom, then your people on the back end, whoever is helping you or yourself, should get um, the client intake form. I'm just giving you an example as an agency, right? You should get a client intake form that's going to then give you everything you need to do to know in order to do that project. And a couple phone calls that are scheduled in between the process will not harm it. It would actually help it to make sure that things are clear, because they may have questions when they're entering in their information. If you own a painting company and they're like ready to, get this job done, and they're putting in details, giving them a call after is not going to hurt if that's in your processes too. I would say put it in your processes to just clarify before you even start, that that this is what this is. This is the point to get really clear and set those expectations. And also, what it's going to do is, because I don't know if you guys know this too. I had a cleaning company, which is still rated one of the top cleaning companies here in Michigan, right, in the area that I'm in. And one thing about it, I had processes then. I didn't even know what a process was, that I'm going to walk everything through before I even leave out of your home, and you're going to check it off and make sure it's great. So when we leave, I'm getting that 5-star before I leave your home. Those are processes. So with, say for instance, if you have a painting company, you want to make sure you're super, super clear and you set those expectations, because people may try to come back and say, oh, this is that. If you have an agency, same thing. But if you set the bar clear the first time, you can always use it as a reference. Service. So what else? It says, ensures clients receive consistent service without overwhelming your resources or your team capabilities. Yep. So we talked about that. This is really good, great fire information. It took me years to get all laid out, and I'm just excited that we're at this point where people are understanding that they don't have to just be burnt out and tired and overwhelmed, and that's just it. Like, it's not. Operations systems. So streamline your work. Common challenges. Many business owners and entrepreneurs face bottlenecks leading to task failure and team confusion, which can significantly hinder overall productivity and growth. Effective solutions. Implementing a weekly workflow, developing simple SOPs, and utilizing a centralized task hub can enhance clarity and efficiency across the organization. So if you're at a place where you got to be in that CEO seat, but you're having all of this confusion, people are everywhere, things are just everywhere, it's no organization as a business, then one thing that will definitely help, it's documenting processes, so you don't have to go over them 1,000 times. You can share those processes with the team. So if the process for sales is this, you should have that documented in a Google Drive where it's organized. Weekly workflow, you should have that very clear on what to do throughout the week for those positions. So whether they're sales, marketing, etc., even if it's just you doing it, it should be clear on what needs to be done. That's why a lot of people, including myself, I realized that I would spend so much time doing the things that I love to do versus the things that I needed to do to actually scale my business for. And it was because I didn't have true clarity of how to measure, of how to identify what was needed. Like when you're coming in from just excitement of like ready to grow your own thing, versus actually looking at this as a business owner, it's a different mindset. And I want you guys to understand that it's nothing wrong with having that energy, but this is for the people who knows that they're ready for that full transformation. They're ready for transitioning because they know that they're ready for growth. They need to be positioned for growth in a way. So implementing a weekly workflow, developing SOPs, and utilizing a centralized task hub. So you should be able to know what tasks are needed, right, for you to reach that goal in any of those departments or systems. Because when we open up that flow and you start to generate leads, what is that process to open up the flow? What is the process? Because this is a pipe. The end of this is serving that client fully and delivering, fully. So what is the top of that pipeline? What does that look like? What are the processes to that? What are the processes when it comes down to, nurturing the client? Is it phone call? Is it email? Is it SMS? What are the processes when it comes down to actual sales? We talked about it. We kind of went in really in depth about that, right? So what is the process of your sales system from A to B? All of that stuff is important. And when it's trackable and you have tasks, it makes things scalable. And then you think, well, how do I know what to measure it to? Well, we got Chat GPT, we have AI, and we have Google. So we can look at the top people in that industry and what their metrics are. And if you are looking to be, the best at what you do, that may be an aim. Of course, you may not come out the gate and say, I'm going to have $100 million by tomorrow, but you may work your way into, okay, cool, I'm going to break this down. First, I'm going to get my first 10, 20 clients and 30 clients and 40 clients, but you can scale it based off of your systems. And this is important because it causes confusion in the back end with your team when you go from you operating to them operating. So for them to operate, they need to know exactly what you're doing. You can't not just be doing it and not documenting it, right? And this is not a one and done. This is something that's going to have to be done quarterly, in your business, and something that I've implemented as well to do this quarterly because it's always going to be revisions and updates. This is not a one and done, and this is what we're helping our clients do inside of our agency as well as inside of our business growth community. So metrics for effective decisions. We just talked about this. This is just clear tracking, conversions, like everything should be tracked. So then you can look at what needs to be improved. How can we decrease overwhelm? Maybe we don't need to track certain things. Maybe we need to, hyper focus on sales right now. Well, depending on where you're at, is what you're going to be hyper focused on the most in order to scale. The big shift. Focus on what matters. Scaling with intention. Scaling your business means prioritizing essential tasks and creating interconnected systems that simplify operations, reduce overwhelm, and clarify your role as the CEO. 75%, so CEO time, 75% of CEOs report feeling overwhelmed by daily operations, losing sight of strategic vision. People say, I don't even want to do this anymore. I'm ready to jump lanes. Like, this is just not for me. I started off making candles because I was passionate about this. I didn't know I needed to be like a team leader. I didn't know that I had to like document all of this stuff. I didn't even know that I needed to track anything. Like, crazy, right? And now you don't even want to sell candles anymore because you're overwhelmed, tired, and you got kids, right? That got to be in school in the morning. Homework has to be done. Things have to be done. It sounds like I'm talking about myself, but really, like, this is a real phenomenon, a real thing. By scheduling, by scheduling a call, by scheduling a call to build what am I saying? By scheduling a call to build scalable systems, you can reclaim your leadership by scheduling a call. So you can call me, or you can like sit down, go through YouTube, dissect what I just told you about the different systems and build this out using Chat GPT. It's going to take a very long time because you have to document everything and like lay everything out. But wherever you're at, it doesn't matter. Start small, focus on what matters the most, and then scale from there. Um, Empower your business to thrive with clarity and purpose. This is the CRM trial offer. So I'm going to be giving you guys, it says experience the benefits of streamlined operations with the free 14-day CRM trial valued at over $150. This trial allows you to explore how effective systems can enhance your business, enjoy automated processes, improved client management, and increased visibility on leads and conversions, all risk free. So I'm dropping that link right now inside of the chats. I'm dropping that link right now inside of the chat. Make sure you guys take full advantage of this, because when I tell you it's a game changer, and I was paying for so many systems, right? It's a difference. And even if you like, say for instance, if you have high level, HubSpot, etc., right? If you are not actively using the tool that you have, then it's still costing you. Okay. If you do have a tool, it's time to get active in the tool. Okay. If you don't have a tool, take advantage of this free trial. And if you need further assistance, then make sure that you schedule a call with me and my team. We would love to talk to you and just see where you're at and how we can actually assist you in your growth in your business, as a business owner or entrepreneur. We're definitely here for you. So I want you to get that link. That's the free 14-day trial. And then I'm going to be dropping the link for connecting with our agency. And what you're going to find first is, I'm going to go ahead and share this tab. So when you get onto our agency landing page, right? I don't believe in websites anymore. I'm so gone off of websites. I feel like websites are more brochures, but funnels are built for conversions, right? Because there's only one call to action here, and that's booking a call with me and my team. So when you go ahead and schedule that call, you're going to get the opportunity to just get some insight and clarity as to what the next steps are. Hopefully, this landing page gives you clarity before you even schedule, so you kind of know what is, to be expected, and just kind of, you know, what that looks like for you and your business. So make sure you guys take advantage of that as well. And I am going to get off of here. Tend to my 5011 kids, tend to my babies, and make sure that yeah, you guys reach out to me if you have any questions. Talk to you guys soon.